Wait, does this make me a published author? Weird. So I've never really been one to consider myself a writer. In high school especially, I thought I was just really, really bad. I never saw myself as the type of person to, write a book. But I had this idea, and the ADHD hyperfocus kicked in. I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple of nights that I just, didn't sleep a whole bunch. I was focused on getting this done. And without talking about it too much longer, without actually telling you what it is, it's this. Really early in my career, I used to take pictures with point and shoot cameras, just the bottom of the barrel, the cheapest camera that I could find. Then I moved up to a BlackBerry. That's really showing my age there. But looking back on those photos, they're bad. They're really bad. And I happened to one day get an offer to trade tattoos for a decent camera, an interchangeable lens DSLR. And that changed everything. Just that one happenstance trade. The guy just came in, was like, hey, I want a tattoo. I don't have any money, but I do have this. And I was thinking to myself, I don't really need a big camera. That seems like a bunch of hassle. But that one moment started an absolute obsession with cameras, both photo and video. And my tattoo photos went from something like this to something like this. And ended up leading to this. But I got the idea to put it together in the style of an old punk zine, which if you're not familiar with what a zine is, it's usually a limited number of pages, maybe 4, 6, 20 pages of just kind of like a DIY magazine that somebody could make in their bedroom and photocopy to reproduce it. And a lot of people would leave them in bookstores, tucked in the back of other magazines or in books or on shelves. In some places, it would hand them out at metal and punk shows and even sell them, usually for just a couple of bucks to fund some sort of community project or whatever. In some cases, it was just entertainment stuff. It could be photos or just scribbles and art. It could be almost like a diary. In a lot of cases, there was instructional and informational stuff in there, like how to screen print, how to make punk patches, how to do all sorts of cool stuff. It seemed like the right sort of fit aesthetically to pass on this information, because I didn't want to write some huge involved full photography course. I mean, there's a ton of that stuff out there, both books, on the internet, classes. I know my time's limited, and a lot of other tattoo artists' time is limited. We really have to get to the heart of the information that we're trying to absorb. So we're not just spending a lot of time on unnecessary fluff. Just a bunch of nonsense that we will never actually use in our career. Of course, you can always go out and learn all of the intermediary details and all the tiny little bits and pieces, nitty-gritty stuff in photography and videography. But I just wanted to help the most people as quickly as possible get better results. And if you're a tattoo artist, you may be asking yourself right now, what does it cover? Well, what it does cover is a lot of the basics, like the exposure triangle, what a camera is and does, and how to think about using it. Some simple and easy kind of tools and techniques to immediately improve your photography. And in a lot of cases, video too. With some examples of really expensive ways to do that, and also even some kind of free or DIY ways to do that if you don't want to kind of invest really quickly in a lot of equipment or get super complex, or just say you're stuck at a convention, or say you're at a guest spot and you do a really cool tattoo, but there's not really a good place to take a photo of your tattoo to show everybody. You don't have to just be stuck with a good enough photo for the rest of time. You might just be able to grab some of the stuff around you and get a good shot quick that otherwise you wouldn't really have thought about doing or been able to do. All cameras are a little bit different, the equipment that you might have is a little bit different. It does take some experimentation, some playing around with what you have versus what you're looking to do. So I did make sure to include just a couple of blank pages in the back, just so you can make notes about camera settings that you like, different combinations of equipment that really seem to work out for you. Or hell, just write a recipe back there. I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your book. And even if you don't have a DSLR, you're taking pictures with your phone. I mean, most phones, if you go to your app store and search up third-party camera apps, Those manual camera apps will open up a lot of possibilities, and you're able to adjust your aperture, your shutter speed, your ISO, and all of these individual settings that let you be more specific and a lot of times more creative with the photos that you take. You can be a lot more precise and really dial in the look, the type of photo that you want to get. And it does actually have a section in the back of the book about some things that might be considered a little taboo to some people in the tattoo community. Since the phrase #NoFilter is so prevalent for, I guess, people who believe that their camera just out of the box, just automatic settings is going to get you the perfect picture every time. It's not. It goes over, just briefly, the history of post-processing your images. And I can hear some of you right now going, that's cheating. And it even mentions use of things like circular polarizing filters. If you use them too harshly, it can make your tattoo look really unrealistic and kind of cartoony and gross. And it doesn't quite look right. But with just a little bit of twisting, a little bit of finesse, a lot of times it can kill that glare, that awful glare that you get on the surface of your tattoos when you're trying to take pictures of them. You just kind of have to strike that balance. You have to find the balance between killing that glare and making it look unrealistic. If you feel like that's something that you want to work on to improve your social media marketing, to improve your physical portfolio in the shop, as tattoo artists, hopefully with the goal of doing more rad tattoos and making more money, it is a business, then go ahead and pick one up. The link is down there. And I'll probably link the blog post that I made about all this. In the blog post, I do mention a lot of the equipment that's mentioned in the booklet, zine, whatever you want to call it. So that if you're interested in a particular piece, you want to try something out, or you want to put together some of the DIY stuff, then you can just go and order it and have it shipped directly to you and make it as easy as possible for you. Trying to make it easy for you. So I hope when you pick up a copy, it helps you out. I would love to hear your feedback on it. Feel free to leave a comment, message, whatever. Let me know how much help that you actually do get out of it. And until next time, I've got a ton of tattoo emails that I've got to get to. So do all the things like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to hit the little bell icon so that you actually get updates when I post stuff. And if you're ever in the Louisville, Kentucky area, make sure to come get a tattoo. Go to shaynesimmons.com, send me a message so we can do a consult. Get a tattoo. Get a tattoo. Hell, even if you don't come to me, get a tattoo. Get a new tattoo. Get a new tattoo.